Hey guys, welcome to Barcelona United. Welcome to another video, and I know it's been very recent since the last video, but I have to talk about breaking news from El Chiringuito de Jugones, a program in Spain that is supposed to be a football program. It's more like a comedy show, to be honest. But the one thing that they do have that is very good, that you have to keep an eye on, it's information about Real Madrid and Barcelona and other stuff, because they do have journalists with inside connections, and they're not always accurate, but when they say something, it's at least worthwhile keeping an eye on. And the news is that Barcelona apparently are heavily interested in the signing of a striker to replace Luis Suarez coming probably the summer of 2020, and that is Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. And I want to discuss about the situation, because it's a weird one. Aubameyang, a couple years ago I would have said yes, I would have said pretty much yes, that's a pretty good signing. But now there is multiple factors that come about in the signing of Aubameyang. Now, why do I think that this could be a good signing, or why maybe it's not such a good signing? I'm going to be talking about that in the following minute. By starting by saying that Aubameyang finishes his contract with Arsenal in 2021, so in the next year we know Arsenal have a bad track record at letting go of players that have only 1 year remaining on the contract, with not they're not so great at selling players. So they paid 50 million for Aubameyang in the winter of, I believe it was 2017 or 2018, one of those. Probably, yeah, it was the summer of 2018. So I think that Barcelona could really go head on and try to sign Aubameyang for about 50 million euros. Maybe less, maybe a bit, maybe 60 million. And what do I say about that signing? Well, it depends. Aubameyang, one thing that he's good at, it's running into space. He's pretty much Thierry Henry, Samuel Eto'o. He's a very good striker. He's a world-class striker. He's a world-class player. And the debate that I have is that what is the purpose of signing Aubameyang? Is he the purpose of signing him, replacing Suarez, and looking short-term? Because we know that the board is the problem is Aubameyang gonna be a marquee signing, one of these flashy signings that the Barcelona board like to do, to just try to see if they can win us over and they can win the election in 2021? If that's the case, then no, I wouldn't go ahead and sign Aubameyang, because he's gonna be 30 years old. He's a player that depends heavily on his physical condition, and although he probably still has 3 or 4 more years of good football, and if he can take care of himself, he can still have that blistering pace and be very athletic, then yes, I think Aubameyang, he's going to age well. I think that Aubameyang, he's good looking into space, he's a good poacher, and you don't lose those kind of things. The pace he might lose a bit, but he's so fast that even if he loses a bit of speed, as long as he has acceleration, he should be fine, and as long as he takes care of himself, he's probably going to be one of the best strikers in the world for the next couple of years, as he's been in the past few years. Now, what is the situation with Aubameyang? And that is that if he comes to replace Luis Suarez, well, that is going to be a problem, because Messi has a high boat in the dressing room. And I don't want to be, tough on Messi, but we know that he has an exit clause from Barcelona. He can leave Barcelona from that summer 2020. He can leave on for free. And if we kick out Suarez out of the team, then Messi's probably not going to be happy. On top of that, we didn't sign Neymar, and that could force his hand. And it's not. I mean, if Messi wants to leave Barcelona just for that, then fine. Like, I'm gonna be eternally grateful for Messi for all that he's given us. He's gonna be our greatest ever player, without a shadow of a doubt. I would like for him to leave in a couple years' time. I think he still has a lot of football to go. But if he says that wants to start a new chapter in his career, then I'm totally fine with that. But what is the purpose of signing Aubameyang? For me, the purpose, like the logical thing, would be, okay, we're replacing Luis Suarez. Aubameyang is 30 years old, so he's at the latter end of his career. Okay, it's a short-term signing. I normally would be like, short-term signings are not that great. We already have one in Griezmann. We've done a few short-term signings in the past couple years. But I think this is actually a very, very interesting signing if the next couple of things are met. If you let go of Piqué, Valverde, Suarez, and Rakitic, and you get Aleñá on loan, and bring in Aubameyang, a center back, like a center back in his mid-20s, like Bartra, Rodrigo Caio, that's been rumored from Brazil, from Flamengo, then yes, and bringing Quique Setién, then yeah, that would be a pretty interesting project. And why do I say so? Because you're going to have a forward line with Griezmann, Aubameyang, and Messi as the kind of starting 11. Dembele to fight for a spot. There's like, Dembele has a good relationship with both Aubameyang and Griezmann, so he's gonna be able to blend into that dressing room a lot better. And Aubameyang is in the age where, in a couple years' time, if we can do this, if we're thinking about signing Kylian Mbappe to Barcelona, then that's a great signing, because that means that when Kylian Mbappe has 1 year remaining in his contract, we can let go of Aubameyang and go ahead and sign Kylian Mbappe and have a forward line for the next decade that includes Kylian Mbappe and Ousmane Dembele, with potentially Ansu Fati. Ansu Fati would go ahead and be the fifth choice in attack. That means that he doesn't have that much responsibility in the team, or shouldn't have that much responsibility. He can take it slow, he can progress as a player and evolve. And then if you ever need someone in attack, if you ever need like cover for emergency minutes, you have Carles Perez, who we know that he works perfectly fine, and Abel Ruiz, who in my opinion has more talent than Carles Perez, and I would actually like to see him get a chance in the first team. You couple that with we letting go of Piqué, who is probably the ambassador of us not pressing high up the pitch. We have Quique Setién, who we know plays amazing football. He's probably the best manager available that's going to get the best out of a midfield of Busquets, Frenkie and Artur. We have a forward line that's able to press now because we don't have Luis Suarez. Because Aubameyang, he's going to be able to press like I said, presses like Griezmann, like Dembele, like they're just going to have energy, and we can let Messi roam around the pitch and do his thing. With fullbacks like Semedo and Alba at their best, we'd cover like Firpo, Wagué, and then with center backs that are comfortable playing high up the pitch like Rodrigo Caio, maybe Bartra. If we can get a best Titi back, that would be great. Clement Lenglet, with Marc-Andre ter Stegen for the next couple of seasons. That's a team that for me is able to challenge for all trophies. And then when the new board comes in and Quique Setién maybe wants to leave Barcelona or is not succeeding at Barcelona, we go ahead and bring in Xavi Hernandez. We bring Xavi Hernandez after the World Cup in Qatar, and that is probably the best time around to sign Kylian Mbappe, to let go of Lionel Messi, because Lionel Messi I'm predicting that he's gonna retire soon after the World Cup in Qatar. He probably wants to try one more time with Argentina in the World Cup, and you give Xavi a new project. No Alba, no Messi, no Busquets. He's able to start a complete new project, and we can start being Barcelona back to our best level with Riqui Puig, with Dembele, Mbappe, Ansu Fati, Ter Stegen, Lenglet, Umtiti. We're gonna have a team full of world-class players. Like, we have players for the future, and we have players for the now. Therefore, if this is the plan, I mean, I think I'll be giving the board too much credit, because this would actually mean that they're doing a good job. But at least I consider this to be a good job. If that's the case, Aubameyang with his pace, with his ability, I think he could be a very good signing. Again, in optimal conditions, if these Barcelona players were normal, we could be like, Piqué, if you don't play every single minute of every single game, you're gonna have more energy to press in most of the games. Just reduce your minutes by a bit. Like, just play 70-80% of the minutes. Like, every 3 games, rotate. Rotate 1 game. Like, out of every 3 games, play only 2. And I think that should be perfectly fine. That should be acceptable. Same thing with Suarez. Suarez, if he reduces his minutes to about 70%, we can start working with Suarez at 100%. And I know that as a super sub, Suarez could still reach that 30 goal mark at the end of the season. But because these players don't want to do that, we have to go to drastic changes and do these kind of things. So what is the verdict in this? It depends. If the board just want a marquee signing, then don't sign Aubameyang. Just do other things, but don't do that, because I know this is gonna go badly, because there's no plan towards this. Now, if let's say that you're not thinking that far in the future, but at least you're thinking next season, no Valverde, bring in a center back to replace either Umtiti or Piqué, ideally Piqué, and let go of Suarez. Let's try to keep Messi in the team, and go ahead and sign Aubameyang. I think that could work. I think that would change things quite a bit, and if we can start playing like ourselves back again, Busquets is going to suffer a lot less. Messi is going to be able to be closer to the final third, which is where we need him the most. And basically the football is going to improve, making also results probably improve more. So, with that said and done, leave me your opinions. What do you think about Aubameyang? Do you think that he should be Barcelona's next signing? Do you think that we should sign him? Maybe other names that you would like for us to sign? Leave me all your opinions in the comment section below. Comment, like and subscribe, and I'll see you next one, Blaugranas.